Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs, Sebastian Envy, Strong Style Nerd, Strong Style Cinephile, and of course, reigning defending MPX Prospect Champion and one half of the CWF Tag Team Champions. Now, normally you'd be seeing my smiling face for this, but allergies are just kicking my rear end something fierce. So rather than have you guys watch me struggle through that, we're doing things a bit differently this time around. But more importantly than that, we are talking Arrow's final season. It's been a long ride, an up and down ride over the past 7 years with this show, but here we are, final 10 episodes. So let us geek about that for a scant few minutes here. Now, the episode kicked off with a trip down memory lane with the familiar scene of Oliver parkouring his way across Lian Yu to fire an arrow to signal a fishing boat that was passing the island. This scene was only the start of this episode's efforts to mirror the pilot while tweaking and twisting things on this Earth, Earth 2, that Oliver finds himself on. Instead of the Deathstroke mask, we see Batman's cowl, and I'm sure many will foster theories on why that was there. Monitor's voice tells us that there are people, great people among us that are heroes, and even among those heroes, there are far greater ones, paragons, which are our only hope. We relive Oliver and Moira's emotional meeting at the hospital and Oliver's arrival at Queen Manor, only to find out that Moira and Malcolm are married, bearded Tommy is there, and that Thea is dead of a drug overdose. It's interesting to see Oliver's reaction to things since he's lived events so much differently than they are presented on this Earth. Soon after, Oliver's on task on his mission that we are not yet aware of. He quickly runs into the Green Arrow of Earth 2, Adrian Chase, who thinks he might be the Dark Archer. We got a glimpse of that in the trailer, so I was not shocked there. And again, the fact that Oliver knows these people in vastly different ways and circumstances than presented here on this Earth, one can only imagine what he's thinking. Black Siren is also back on this Earth, helping Adrian in his crusade. Oliver, of course, thinks that Malcolm is the Dark Archer and runs to confront him. And he actually runs into the Monitor, who reminds him of his mission, which we now learn is dwarf star particles and acquiring them. The Monitor needs them as part of his plan to stave off the crisis. Now, when Oliver actually confronts Malcolm, the real Dark Archer intervenes, and we learn it is Tommy. Again, not surprised, as the execs said early on that fans would finally get to see Tommy in the role they've long wanted to see him in, and that's in a hood, wielding a bow and arrow. Oliver's captured by Tommy eventually, where we find out that Renee and Dinah are actually in league with Tommy. We also find out Tommy wants to carry out his own undertaking and destroy the Glades in response to Thea's overdose. Diggle shows up to rescue Oliver, and while at first Oliver tries to push Diggle away to, quote-unquote, keep him safe, he eventually accepts his help to stop Tommy. Now, the two of them work with Adrian and Laurel to track down and stop Tommy from destroying the Glades using a combination of fist and heartfelt speeches to get him to shut off his device. The episode ends in red as the antimatter wave we saw in The Flash appears here, taking everyone with it. Oliver sees Tommy and his mother die yet again before escaping through the portal. As for the future storyline, Team Arrow 2040 are out to protect a political bigwig from the Deathstrokes run by Connor's estranged brother, John Diggle Jr. Their plan fails, angry Mia, who says they will do things her way from now on. I know I sounded kind of bored explaining that, and there's a bit more to it than that, but let's be real, it's not as interesting as the present-day storyline. Now, this episode, as I said, was a fun ride down memory lane with the first episode, and yet it was interesting with the tweaks they made to events and people in this world. Adrian being the Green Arrow, Tommy being the Dark Archer, Oliver just being totally dead, Bruce Wayne apparently a mentor of sorts to Adrian, some of the lines of dialogue straight out of the pilot and other episodes, like the whole I miss tequila thing from Oliver, I'm 10 steps ahead of you, which Oliver says to Adrian, which Adrian said to Oliver on that season way back. Dwarf Star Alloy being the thing that powers the Earthquake device this time around. It was a kicker to see Earth 2 get wiped out, because unless they got away, Harrison Wells and Jesse Quick of Earth 2 are dead. It makes me wonder if that fact will get a mention on The Flash and if Wally will find out. I hope they are in fact dust and that they didn't, escape some kind of way, because it puts some real stakes in the crisis and the worlds that it will destroy. And that's what we need. The crisis, as I've said, is a chance to reshape, redefine, repopulate, reformat the Arrowverse proper, and they need to take every opportunity to do so. And no, there shouldn't be any sort of cop-out, cheap escapes. Like I said, Harry and Jesse hopefully are dead. Hopefully they didn't get some warning ahead of time and escape through like a portal. I want them to be dust. As I said, it just adds to the stakes. We know in the next episode from the promo, they're going to Hong Kong for some reason, and we'll deal with Laurel dealing with the fact that her world is dust now. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how she reacts to that. I'd give the episode like an 8.5 out of 10. It was interesting also to see the, I guess, the budget for the action scenes, for them to break stuff was apparently increased, because they were just, breaking tables and architecture, and just a whole bunch of stuff was just getting broken during the action scenes, both in the present and in the future storyline. So that was interesting. I say interesting a lot, don't I? But it was interesting. And James Manford being the director, you could tell with the action scenes and the kind of movement, the transitions, the shaky cam that are used in his episodes. He has a distinct, definitely has developed a distinct style in the way he directs episodes. So soon, I didn't catch a glimpse of who directed the episode when it first came on, but then in watching it, I was like, that has to be James. And then going back, of course, looking at the credits, yeah, it was definitely James. And it was James. Yeah. So that was cool. He definitely always brings a certain action flair to any episode that he directs and any action scene that he directs. So that was cool. So, I mean, it's 10 down, it's 9 to go. Again, the future storyline is really pales in comparison to the present storyline. And that was my biggest thing, is like, the future stuff is taking away from the episode real estate of the present episode, or the present storyline. So that's my only real knock on this episode, and probably will be my biggest knock on this season. It's like, how much time, once we add it all up, are we taking away from the present storyline to wrap things up? We'll see how it goes. I actually might do the math on that and see how many episodes, like what, if you add up all the future storyline scenes, if they equal, or how many episodes they equal. Definitely be interested to see that. Interested, yeah, I said it again. But anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I'm flashing my social media up on the screen in front of my logo. Follow me on social media and talk to me about this episode on Instagram, on Twitter, on this channel. If you're in the DFW area this weekend, you'll see me at MPX, Alone in the Dark, defending my prospect title against CJ Ward. If you're in the area, come check it out. Come see me do what I do, going places, kicking faces. What I do and what I do so well. So I got a flash video coming. These allergies are just knocking me down. That's another thing you put in the comments. If you find something that works better than Benadryl, Sudafed, or Claritin, which I've tried all three, I'm still going through this, let me know in the comments, because this really sucks. In the meantime, let us geek.